Welcome to part 6 of how to build a trash compactor. In this one we're going to do the ricochet of the laser weapon. So when we shoot this button it's going to fire a laser beam around the room. So I'm going to need to use our path tool. So get your creativity toys up and select the path tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the route that we want our laser shot to occur. So we presume you've hit the button, but the button's not ready to work yet, so it's now going to bounce off the walls and floors. Okay, and I've done it up and down because the side walls will be contracting. So all I'm doing is just clicking where I want each point to roughly appear and then move my pointer back and forth. So choose an area, hit the X button, move it to the next area, so it's bouncing around. So I'm going to have that bounce up and hit this wall here. Yeah, so it bounces off, hits that wall, then it comes back. So it comes across there, bounces off that wall, comes back up, ricochet back either side. So it hits this back wall here, bounces again, goes all the way across and ends up into the wall here. I think that'll do. So if I just circle out to end my path, that there is now my route. Now the thing for the laser beam is I need a locator, and the locator I'm going to send on the path. So I'm just going to stick the locator in the air there, and I'm going to link that locator, so point up to that, link that locator there, and I'm going to connect that new path connection, and I'm going to link this now to that path. So you'll now see when I click on there, the object is now moving around on the screen. Okay, now what I'm then going to do, and I've done this slightly out of sync, yeah, is that because obviously when you put the walls it tries to curve it, so you don't get more of a straight line bounce, which is a bit of a shame, but it does the effect. I need the thing to go quite quickly. Now in here I was so focused on trying to get the speed, I probably should have done the speed last. So I've clicked on the locator, and I'm going to change the speed to as fast as it can go. And the fastest I can go, I believe, is 300. So we've gone too high there, it gave me an error message. I believe it's 300 is the maximum speed you can get it to go on the system. I think I tried 350 at this screen, but I'm going to set this to 300. It will see it appear on the screen in a second. There you go, 300. But what you can do is you can actually double this up to 600. So we've set the path to be 300 on the actual tool, so it's now going quicker, which is not too bad. But if we actually go to the path itself and go to the properties of the path, we can set that to 300. So theoretically, we're going to make it go 600. Rough logic, but you'll now see, as you can see on the screen behind it, that thing is whizzing around all over the place. Okay, so that there is our rebounding bullet. Now all you need to do now is basically add an effect to that path. Now also, if we go back to our part 2 clip, we set this logic gate to reset all the moving paths. Now at some point we can come back to this and I can slow the path down and use my button to reset this thing spinning round. I'm not going to worry about that at this present moment because I want to look at the logic on how do we trigger the laser beam to appear. And if you remember, we have various controls related to with the door. Okay, and we have 2 logic gates, a gate depending when the wave has been defeated and a gate when you press on the pressure pad. Okay, and both of those have to be blocked for the door to open. So if we look at these logics down here, we'll go down onto the screen, you'll see that the 2 end logics in the middle, so just on the end there, we've got this logic gate here that this checks to say, right, have you defeated the wave, and that says, have you stood on the pressure pad. Now if either of those 2 fail, yeah, at the moment we did just do output, do nothing. So what I'm going to do is get my creativity toys back open again, and chuck in another logic gate. Yeah, you got carried away. You'll now notice I'm running out of platform space, but I like to keep the spaces while I'm doing it, so I can put it in midair in the meantime. And what this does, I put this again in between the 2 logic gates I've got. So if you look back on my previous clip, we've got the first one, the wave's been defeated, and the second one you stood on the pad. If either of those fail, then they pass the thing through. They only work if they're blocked. So what we're saying here is if that link is not blocked and we send a signal through, it means that we can't open the door. So we can do a new logic connection on output. Can we send a signal to this logic gate? So input a signal here. If this one is not blocked, can we do a logic output? And if the output comes through there, again, they haven't done that one, so we failed. The door cannot open. Okay, so either route will send a signal through to this logic gate. Now what I need it to do is I need the logic to show a laser beam or something passing through on the screen. So what I'm needing really now is an effects generator. Okay, so I'm going to bring in an effects generator and I'll put that there for the meantime. Now remember, effects generators can do looping effects or a single one-off effect. I've just actually got into setting a logic, which I didn't mean to do, so I'm going to cancel out that, didn't mean that. So what I'm going to do here is this effects generator is going to send a signal out onto that route, okay, and it's going to occur once I get the signal from the logic gate. So what I'm going to do here is that once we get to this part here, we know that the thing's failed. So I'm going to go to this logic gate, do new logic connection, and when I choose output, I'm going to send that signal to the effects and say, can you go and create an effect? So in this option, I'm going to do create an effect. Now I don't want it once, I want it to play it loop because I want it to stay while it keeps bouncing around the room. And I'm going to choose the very top one, which is a spark burst. Now the problem I've got now is I now need to link that spark burst, because that spark burst is going to appear on that effects generator. And I need it to appear on the speedy locator running around the screen. Now some of you look at this going, why don't you add the locator first with the effect before attaching it to the path, which is what I should have done. Okay, but what I'll do, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to link this connection here. I'm going to do new locator, and that effect is not going to appear on there, it's going to appear on this locator. So I've somehow got to try and capture this, and that's going to be pretty much impossible. Not going to happen. So like I said, what I should have done is when I dropped the locator in, I should have left it on the side, connected the effects to the effects generator to that locator, then added the locator to the path. But now it's moving, I can't do that. So the only thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to stop the effects from occurring. So I can't do that this particular way. So if I get my Creativity Toys back open and let's put a button back in on the system, I will stop the path and that'll allow me to generate the effect. So let me just do that now. So I'm just going through, grab a button, another spare button, and you'll see as we build it, we've got the three on the side here. This is another one. These all will be deleted when we finish. It's just to help us generate the game. So let's move it across. Where's the button? There we go. Want the pressure pad button, and I'm going to stick this out of the way. I'll put this on top of the system here. Okay, so chuck the button on, fine. So when I press that button, what I need to do here is, so I'm going to click onto there. When I press that, right, I want to actually stop, reset, and stop this. So can you reset and stop the path? By selecting that item there, that will then stop the object moving across and bring it back to the top. So if I come out of my tools, making sure not to delete anything, yeah. If I now press that button, which I don't think I can reach, I think I'm going to have to fly up. Yep, looks like we have to fly up. If I now press that button, let's jump up there now. Come on. Looks like I've been drinking a bit here. Up we come. Right, there we go. Drop down. If I come and press this button, see, I'm a bit of mare. Right. Button's now pressed. The object will now stop, and you'll see the locator pinpointed there at the top. And I've kept this in. I could have changed this, but I wanted to show you that we don't sometimes always make mistakes. So we've got to find workarounds. So what we want to go back to is, if we go back to the effects generator, and what we want to do is we want to do new locator connection. So we've already told it to run the effect, but at the moment it's going to appear on that actual pad. And what I want it to appear is on this locator. So I'm going to tell it, no, can you play the effect on that locator there, making sure I'm picking the right option, which I think I've got. And I'm choosing the effect locator. So it's now going to play that effect on that screen. Now going back to here, when we trigger these two items, when it comes to this logic gate, we're saying run the effect. So we trigger the effect to play, but what we want to do is we actually want to say, can you start the actual line? So on the output of that logic gate that feeds the effects generator, I want to say, grab that path and can you start it? Yeah. So on that path there, can you actually reset and play? So it will bring it back to the beginning again. So I'm picking on the path and I'm going to choose reset and play. Okay, so let's just test that and see how that works. And it's always good that you can test them in these stages. That's why I create these extra buttons, because then you can see things where you've gone wrong. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to run the button here if I can shoot it. There we go. It bounces all over the place, which is great. But you'll notice it's not stopping bouncing. Yeah, it keeps going back and forth. It's going too quick. It's not coming back. So what we need to do is get it just to play once. Okay, so when it finishes, it does its shot and then it's done its job. So let's get back up to the top. We have to stop the button again. So I'm going to fly back up here. Slightly better this time. All right, let's don't forget to delete the button. Let's actually just stop it. Right, so we've got to not have it carry on going. And you'll also, the second problem, the thing doesn't stop flashing. Now we've got it on repeat, it hasn't stopped. So there's two little problems we've got here. The first one, let's get the thing to stop. So I'm going to point to the locator. I'm going to go to the properties of the locator. And I'm going to change the toy box path there. And I'm going all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to go to movement style. And I want it to play once and then stop. So play one way and stop. Yeah. So that once they've done it will finish, you get to the end. So with that done now, we can go to the end here. Now I don't think I needed to do this, but I've done it anyway. At the end of the path, I've done a new logic connection. Okay, so I've said when you get to the end of the path, can we reset it and stop the object? Yeah, it was already going to stop anyway, but what I've done is on the logic connection, when we reach that path, can we point to our item and can we do reset and stop? Which would have done, but it puts the beam at the other part. I think I put that there because I didn't want there to be a delay for the beam to appear. It starts showing because it's at the other end of the screen, so I wanted to make sure it's all ready for when we fire our second time. Now I also go back to the end of the path because I want another logic point, because once that's stopped, I need the beam to stop flashing, because at the moment the beam will just be stuck in the wall flashing away. So in that case, I will do logic path when path reached, so another one of those, but I'm going to go straight to the effects generator and then say, right, can we now stop the effect? So I don't want the effect going through anymore. And that there has got our logic with our flashing beam. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, if we just shoot the thing bounces around as it goes, flies across the screen, and then should stop, and it is finished and done. And it'll keep bouncing around on the screen. It will keep firing when we've done, when we haven't set the other settings. So let's do a full test run. Let's see how all these objects work together. Okay? So we'll fire our top button of the three. That will get our creatures to appear. Okay, our creatures all appear at the bottom. So we now get rid of these and dispose these items. While we're disposing these creatures, we can shoot the button as well. Let's get a couple of them. Let's not shoot them all yet. So can I shoot the door? Let's have a quick shoot the door. Quick, let's get out of here. Nope, nothing. We haven't defeated the enemies yet. So let's shoot the enemies. Get rid of these. That's one down. Right, let's stand on the pressure pad. Let's shoot it again. Nope, doesn't matter. Pressure pad doesn't affect it because we still haven't killed the enemies. So let's kill the enemies off. And that's them all go. Right. Oh my god, the walls are now coming in. The walls are now moving. So let's see if we can shoot the door again. So we're going to get squashed here if we don't do it. So this comes to the screen. So I'm going to stand on the platform. And now when I shoot it, door will now open. I don't get any ricochet, so the logic is correct. I can jump across, lower myself down, and presto, we have completed our mission. Job done. So our logic is looking good and everything's working fine, and it all closes and retracts back. So another stage done. Well done, guys. I think we've got one more clip to go. So I hope you like it. Cheers for watching. Cheers.